It's not about picking stocks. It's about picking the right portfolio.
Food at home CPI has increased about 1.2% for the past 5 months. Deflation appears unlikely. There's a lot of incentive to avoid inflation for my universe. So, they've done a good job. It's not going to be deflation. On the next slide, 1% inflation, I think, belies the elevated stacked inflation since the pandemic. So the average price per unit has increased about 30% since that outbreak. And you can see it sort of over here, and that's what the consumer's seeing. I know probably politicians would like you to focus on 1%, but the consumer is focused on 30%. On the next slide, this is the PPI, so this is the wholesale cost for my companies. This reaccelerated to 1.5% in April, the most recent month. That means this tailwind is over for my companies. There's nowhere to fund lower prices, so any lower prices is just going to come out of margin. On the next slide, this is, I think, an interesting chart because I don't think it's exactly what people expect. The lower and higher income household wage growth, this is according to Bank of America, looking at their bank accounts of their customers, has strengthened in recent months. It's the middle that really hasn't seen that increase. And then the next one, when Brian was talking about the low end, so for my universe, it was the expiration of the emergency SNAP payments that led to a sharp drop in so food access, right? We saw that drop in volumes because the lower end just had less money for the food. But that's over. That was a Q1 headwind. We've now anniversaried that, so no longer that additional headwind going forward. And then my last chart is, what do I do with all this that I'm showing you? I think, Costco, this is their same-store sales in the U.S., stripping out gas, and this is all manifested in their results. You can just see it here, all the macro level, you can see it in the company level. So this is the consumer still looking for ways to save on food in order to spend elsewhere. In order to spend on Brian's universe, they need to save in my universe, right? So I think volume growth is going to be very difficult to come by, and it's going to matter more for my stocks as we get through the year. I also think the competitive intensity will increase, promotions will increase, and so I'm staying long secular growth stories. That's where I want to be. All my long ideas, except for maybe a special situation or two, have strong volume growth visibility. So that's Celsius Holdings, Lamb Weston, SunOpta, Lancaster Colony, the sauce maker for Chick-fil-A, right? Bellring Brands, Walmart, Costco. It's a running theme through there because of what I just run through.